Hi, I'm Andrea Klim from Turn to the Stars, and today I'm going to be covering the influences of the second half of February heading toward the full moon in Virgo on the 27th. So stay tuned for your personal forecast and for the universal forecast, meaning what influences us all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be doing the universal forecast for the full moon in Virgo that is becoming very influential as we approach February 27th, 2021 at exactly 4:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this full moon, as you can see in the picture above, is right here. And that full moon is occurring at 9 degrees of Virgo, and the part of the chart that speaks to us about our emotional responses to others in their time of transition, change. There's so many people emotionally right now that are going through such incredible processes of realizing their emotional health. And Virgo is about the health. It is about the work that we're doing, the processes that we go through. And so this is a really incredibly sensitive time as we head toward the 27th. And this full moon is actually, as always, when we have a full moon, the sun and the moon are exactly opposite. So the sun is exactly at 9 degrees, while the moon is exactly at 9 degrees of Virgo, the sun at 9 degrees of Pisces. So anybody with mutable signs is going to feel the influences of this energy a lot more extreme, meaning Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius. And this is a universal realization that we are in a time of great adjustment here on earth. And Virgo is the one that says to us, it's time to break things down, see where they fit, and what that looks like, how we can use these things. I'm reminded of Virgo being the sign that is very supportive of of agriculture and gardening and things that are of the earth. It's an earth sign, so there's going to be this very expanded influence emotionally of what these things look like and the roles they play in our life. So whatever it is that is emotionally supportive of your health and well-being is going to be very highlighted on this full moon. And it is a mutable sign, Virgo, so we are more influenced to be adaptable, and that is really the very best thing at this time, as we've got some major players, planets, meaning that the planets that are really supporting our growth on this earth are Uranus and Jupiter, Mercury and Saturn. And Mercury is direct at this time. Mercury's been retrograde for the last couple weeks, and tomorrow, February 20th, is going to turn direct. So I know I've had these questions, is Mercury retrograde? What's going on? Yes, Mercury has been retrograde. So we've all been getting this knowledge, these downloads of information, which are really helpful for us toward a brighter future. Yes, it's been very unpredictable, and it's really tested us to stay the course, to ride the waves of change that are happening, because we're all awakening on this earth to what it is within each and every one of us that is being brought up to be changed. And so this is a really powerful time on this earth. And Mercury retrograde, we're going to be in that after influence, after shadow of Mercury retrograde till over the course of the next couple of weeks. And that means that we're covering the same territory that we've been talking about, that we've been researching, that we've been reviewing. we're going to be covering that after shadow, meaning we get the third experience of what that looks like in our lives and what strategies are going to be best for us, who it is that we want to do this dance with, who it is that is genuinely connected to us, and what that looks like. And we're also being urged to let go, find peace with the things of the past that are not in our best interest or in the interest of all. And it is also a great time of forgiveness of the crazy experiences that we've all been really being flooded with. And it's been like that for quite some time here on this earth as we move through these times of really unexpected results. And we have on this full moon, we have Saturn, Mercury, and Jupiter all together in Aquarius. They're all like standing together. Saturn is about responsibility. It is about the wisdom that we've gained along the way. It's about the things where we've been restricted, and in the sign of Aquarius, it's really had us working to figure out what strategy would be most supportive. Mercury, it's held us all accountable for the things we say, the things we speak, and how we project that. And then Jupiter is the truth. Jupiter is magnification. Jupiter is expansion. So there's a sense of security on this earth at this time, because this cluster of planets is actually really bringing up to us what's most important. And also unconditional love. Venus is in Pisces, almost right next to the sun in this chart. And so there's this spirit, there's this unconditional love, and there's this vision of what the future might look like that's coming through for all of us on this full moon. And there are also 4 very important components that I want to talk about for a minute, because on this full moon there is what I call angel wings. That means that there's 4 archangels that are very prominent and here to support us on our path. And so they are the angels that are associated with Scorpio, which is Archangel Michael, and with Taurus, and that would be Archangel Uriel, the angel of forgiveness and finding peace with the things from our past that have haunted us. And so this is a huge awakening, and there's this open door for this process of acceptance to occur. So the ultimate goal for the whole world at this time, for the universe, this is a universal chart that I'm talking about, is to be creative, to recognize and to speak about and to talk about and to share what's in our hearts, and for us to play, for us to enjoy both sides of life, the serious side and also the playful side, because the North Node is in the 5th house in this full moon in Virgo chart. And so that is indicative of we are going to find the most fulfillment, the most joy, the most happiness by really looking into our hearts, opening our hearts to share our knowledge. And there's still some confusion. There's still some realization of the areas that are very prominent in our world where people have suffered, where people have escaped from reality. So the realization of the unhealthy thought processes, the things from our past that are really true, yet we're having a hard time to wrap ourselves around that, because our ego is, wants to protect us. And so when somebody starts to tell you the truth, or you're realizing the truth about yourself, it's often hard to look at that in the mirror and to say, that is me. Somebody else is reflecting something to me, and I know it's the truth, but I don't really want to see that just yet. So there is some relief that is coming with this full moon. Full moons bring things to fruition. So I would say that you're more apt to, on this full moon, have some huge realizations about your work, about what you're doing in your day-to-day life, And is that healthy or is that not healthy? And so I'm really grateful for this full moon because it is bringing us the very little things, awareness of the little things that matter so, so much. And so I would really encourage you to allow yourself to listen to your intuition, because it's going to be very multiplied, very expanded on this full moon. And so that little voice that is always guiding you, that divine, beautiful spirit that we each have inside of ourselves, is going to be very highlighted on this full moon. And there's an animal card that is, or nature's wisdom. As you know, I'm also a practitioner of healing arts, of shamanic practices, and I like to bring nature into the forecast, because nature is so, so wise, and Virgo is an earth sign. And as you can see behind me, the beautiful tree that is being shown is a tree from my morning walk, which I do at sunrise every morning, and it's very fulfilling. And so nature has a lot of wisdom to share with us. And so I'm going to pull a card that is a universal message from nature for everyone, and that is the weasel. And the weasel is the, as you can see in this picture, it's surrounded by beautiful pastels and yellow, so that's spirit, and that's also creativity. And then there's a lot of emotion that's very that's surrounding us all at this full moon, which is very normal on a full moon. I would say to be very careful about being critical or judgmental on this full moon, and to discern what that looks like for you. And I think you'll be able to recognize a lot more on this full moon what that really means, and be aware of that. But the weasel, the message is from nature is be silent, pay attention, and simply observe with your eyes, ears, and physical feelings what is happening outside and all around you. And as you know, if you've ever seen a weasel move, they move very close to the ground, and they kind of go, almost looks like a wave of energy. So it's almost like we need to really connect into the ground beneath us and keep our feet on the ground. Be very mindful of where we're at in our environment and those that are in our environment. So that is your message from nature for this overview universal forecast. And I'm going to go ahead and move on with the forecast for Aries. Thanks for watching Turn to the Stars. I appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, take good care, and remember, turn to the stars and you'll find your answers there.